There's been a lot of feedback this year from you guys in the comment section talking about what you foresee or want to see in the future for this Pittsburgh Force team. Some people want to see Jimmy Thomas head somewhere else. People want to see Wilson Towns head somewhere else. You know, there are a lot of different takes going on, but here is my vision for what I see going forward with this team past year 2, which we're about to end here in probably the next, 2 or 3 episodes. I see Jimmy Thomas, Towns, and especially Person returning next year, obviously. Same thing goes for Homer Castro. Those are kind of the main 4 players on this team that we're currently focusing on. And in my opinion, I think that Jimmy Thomas, if he can have just a little bit more development, I think he can really become that star go-to player on this team. I mean, right now, he's already over 24 points per game, just below 6 rebounds. He's got over 3 assists per game. He's blocking some shots, and he's shooting incredibly well from the field and from downtown at over 42% from behind the arc. He has shown off the ability to score at the rim. He has shown the ability to create his own shot, sometimes using screens, but he can still make plays happen. He has shown us that he can get to the rack against good defenders like Cade Cunningham, and I think that he has proven his worth on this team, and I want to keep him on this team as long as we possibly can, unless next year we see some different things happen. Like, for example, if we start off next year slow, just like these first 2 years, then I'll probably think about a couple of changes. But I think right now, I want to see what this next offseason gets us in terms of the progression and the development for players like Jimmy Thomas and for players like Dustin Person. And if we don't get a lot of it, then we'll go into year 3 with an open mind, thinking about how we can improve this roster moving forward, approaching the year 3 trade deadline. But I think right now, I do want to see more of these young players, and I want to see if they can mesh well and really, come together as a really strong group of, 4 to 5 players, especially in terms of, can Homer Castro improve beyond, an 80 overall? Can he get better at boxing out? Because last episode, we saw Cousins absolutely kill us in that game against LA. So if he can get some improvements, if he can, become more of a defensive anchor than he already is, it can be more consistent in that role, then I think that would be my ideal scenario for this team. But for Person, coming off a broken left ankle, what could be in store for him? I mean, hopefully this won't really affect his progression, really, but I don't really know how major injuries work in this game. There are some that happen, but for teams that I've controlled so far in this series, at least, we've never had a major injury like an ACL tear or a broken ankle, really. And so I don't really know how that could affect his future. Hopefully it's not going to be negative, but, it very well could be. And if we look at his injury history, he had a straight left hip in the first couple months of the year, and that can be re-aggravated, and plus this broken left ankle will linger after it's gone. So who really knows how much that will affect him? We'll just have to see how things go from there, but hopefully he can come back strong towards the end of this year or at the beginning of next year and can be hopefully either the same player or, ideally a better player than he was here in his rookie season. But, Jimmy Thomas has really progressed since last year as a 3-level scorer. Last year he averaged, I think, just over 20 or 21 points per game, and now he is averaging 24. So that's a pretty nice increase. He's been rebounding better. He has shot better across the board except for free throws. So, I mean, I think his development has been really special for this team. And I don't want to move on from him just yet. I mean, if he is only going to be a catch and shoot kind of guy, which he's shown other abilities beyond just shooting, but I think that if he can keep that role and just get better at that, that's not a reason to trade the guy away. As it pertains to our wings, this is definitely the weakest part of this roster. We only have Clint Hardy and now Marcus Swift after that trade last episode. But if Hardy does not really get too many more badges and his progression does not really develop into an 80-plus overall player, then we're going to have to really think about going after a top free agent to fill in at that position in the offseason, because if we're going to start to win some games, I think we got to get a defensive menace on this team in the starting 5 alongside our center, Homer Castro. But we also got to get a guy that can actually knock down shots, which he can, but he's got to be able to do both. And right now his defense is not that good. and he has 0 badges, so until he gets some more of those, he won't be that good on defense compared to other players at a similar overall that do have those badges. And if you're somebody who thinks that we should try and draft a starter for next year in this draft, it might not be possible because there's only a handful of players that can play at that 3 spot, and one of those guys is CJ Young, but he is not a defensive player at all. He's mainly an inside-the-arc threat with good inside and mid-range scoring. He can't knock down threes or play defense on the outside, and I would rather have somebody that can do a bit of everything at that spot. So until we find a guy in the draft that can do that, it's probably going to be another backup player being drafted in the lottery until they develop into a starter-level caliber player in maybe 2 or 3 more seasons. All that being said, we still are in the hunt for a postseason spot. We got several teams around us with a similar win percentage, like the Milwaukee Bucks, the Raptors, the Nets, the Knicks, and then behind us, the Hawks. It's pretty much like a 5-team race for a play-in tournament spot, and right now, we are behind the Knicks and Nets for that 10 spot. So if we're going to get into that postseason appearance, then we got to really play better the last, 2 or so months on the year. And I think today I do want to face the Breeze. So we haven't really faced all too much, especially in a showcase game. They used to have Jose Ramirez, who also played for the Force, I want to say, for like 1 season. But then we kind of shipped him off somewhere else. And now they brought in Adrian Morrison. They have Giannis at 39 years old, who is kind of dropped off the face of the earth in terms of his offense. He can definitely play some defense still. They've also got Ben Gilliard, who is, like Castro, kind of a lockdown paint player with just below 2 blocks per game, but his offense does leave a lot to be desired at only 43% from the field. But, they are right now 32-24. They are going to make the playoffs most likely in the Western Conference, and so could be a fun team to face back at home in Pittsburgh after that road loss against the Clippers in our last episode. Whoa. Only a week after the Clippers loss, Person is apparently fully healed from the injury. I have not changed any of the injury recovery sliders, so I'm not really sure why the injury duration does not actually match up ever with how long a guy's going to be out for, but Person is now back with a month and a half left, and he's going to come back in to our lineup, obviously. And 1 game later, Barea is going to check out with a pulled right calf muscle, so in comes Jonathan Campbell as the backup center after pretty much being benched in the first couple weeks of the season. We have reached the contract extension deadline, and we have 1 guy eligible, and that's going to be Jaden Hardy, who I said last episode that I would like to bring back if he continued to play well off the bench. If you look at his recent couple of games for us in simming, he's had a couple games below 10 points, but he's still shot, mainly well. He put up 21 in a nice win against the Cavaliers off the bench, 17 against Houston before that Clippers loss. So I think I would like to bring him back as that kind of go-to spark off the bench offensively. And he will want only a vet minimum deal, so I'm definitely open to that for 1 more season for sure. And just before the game against the Breeze, Barea has returned. And would you look at that, ever since the Clippers lost, we've only lost 2 games, and now we are 32-32 with exactly 1 month left, leaving us at 10th in the conference. In the playoff picture, we're right behind the Knicks, who are also at 500, but have played 4 more games than we have. So we have 4 games in hand on them. We have 18 games left, which is the most of, I believe, any team in the Eastern Conference except for the Atlanta Hawks. So if we can play even better in this last month between March and April, then we can definitely climb further up the standings. In our first game following that loss against the Clippers, we got 34 from Jimmy Thomas and 26 from Towns. Castro also played very well, dropping 20 points. We then beat the Grizzlies by 5, who are a playoff caliber team. 20 plus again from all 3 players, and Keon Malone had a pretty nice day as well with 17 and 16 against the Cavaliers, same record as the Grizzlies. 35 for Thomas. He is really stepping up these last couple of games. And here in this one, we put up over 140 points as a team with 7 guys scoring in double figures. We beat the Clippers by 1 point in the rematch, and we take it behind 34 more from Thomas. And a person's first game back, he drops 24 and 13. If Towns can play better than he did against the Clippers in our last episode and this one, then this could be a really fun game here against the Breeze, who are now up to 39 wins on the season. We had a close win here against the Magic as well. Thomas drops 24 more points, and Hardy supplies 24 off the bench, shooting 10 for 12. You know, what more can you ask for from a guy that we just gave a small extension to, who we brought in to be that scorer off the bench? And now we're coming off a win against the Hornets, who are 8 games above 500, 25 for Brandon Miller, and 29 and 12 for Wilson Towns. Kind of an off shooting day both for Hardy and Thomas here in this one, but we still got the win regardless. This game has some pretty massive stakes for how the rest of our year might shake out, folks. If we win this game, we move to 33 and 32 to go 1 game above 500 for, I believe, the second time all season long. And if you're curious, there is the drop-off for Giannis since the 2029 season. He has dropped down from 21 points per game all the way to 11. Tip-off is officially underway. It's won by Homer Castro. Person back in our lineup, coming off a broken left ankle. Can he lead us to a victory here? He's going to have a tough matchup, though, against Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's trying to back him down. Shot clock comes under 5. Thomas off the screen, blocked by Giannis. Okay, well, got to be wary of that and his length, because he's like 7'3" or some crap like that. Behind the arc, this is Phillips, no good. Screen comes up. Towns pump fakes and fires, but can't knock down the trifecta. Mismatch down low, Giannis calling for it. Help comes, kicked out. Morrison opens the scoring. Little pick and pop. Towns keeps it and knocks down the teardrop floater. Phillips tries one from long range and nails it. They're 2 for 2 from downtown. Block under 5 again. The screen from Person. A shot from Thomas is blocked, but Morrison's called for a foul. First free throw is on the board. And the back end for Jimmy Thomas is good as well. Little pick and roll. Phillips from the elbow. He's 2 for 2 with 5 points. Off-ball screen for Thomas. He gets the feed from Person. He fakes it, leaves it for Castro, but he can't connect. Quick 3 on the other end. First miss from Sammy Phillips here in this one. He has had a 61% true shooting percentage here in this season and 16 points per game on average. A foot inside the arc. Oh no, it's going to be a 3 instead for Jimmy Thomas. The Archangel, that's my nickname for him. Pick and roll again. This time, Gilliard gets the feed, and now he's going to have some free throws after the Castro foul. First one drops in. Gilliard mainly a defensive presence, but can be an offensive weapon occasionally. Quick pass up ahead. Thomas gets us in front. Giannis tries one behind the arc. That one's no good. He shot like, I want to say, under 33 or maybe just 30% from downtown this year. Not very good shooting-wise at all, as Thomas is hacked on a 3-point shot. That'll put him at the line for 3. First one is perfect. Number 2, also good. Is he about to go 3 for 3? Not quite. Morrison up to Gilliard, projected at the rim by Homer Castro. Cutting towards the top of the key. Jimmy Thomas drilling another one. He's 3 for 3 behind the arc already. Taking person off the dribble. Off the window. Too strong from Antetokounmpo. Now there's a backdoor cut, but it's a block instead for Morrison on Jimmy Thomas. Feed inside, mismatch, and now a double team. Left open, it's Rolando McGee behind the arc. Now Person gets the feed. Top of the key, no good. McGee pulls it down. Up to Gilliard. He fires and misses the shot. Towns might have had that one tipped by Phillips. Not entirely sure. I heard a slap on the wrist or a slap on the ball, one of the two. They get it back, trailing by 3 about halfway through this first quarter. Giannis dished inside. Gilliard over 2 defenders, got it off the window. Behind the arc, this is Wilson Towns connecting from deep. Quick 3, Phillips can't respond. Castro's trying one. We still have yet to see him knock one of those down, but apparently he's been better from deep in the last month or so, as we saw last episode on one of those stats that pop up mid-game. All the way to the 10. Thomas, a bit too much off the window. Rebound goes out to Towns' zone. We can keep it alive. Thomas downhill. Castro's left open, but he goes right into a foul from McGee. Almost was a clean block. First free throw drops in for Castro. Just shy of 12 points per game this year. He has definitely shown us some better offensive ability throughout the course of his second season. Pick and pop. Phillips blows by Towns and knocks it down off the glass. High ball screen from the arena logo. Towns with the blow-by, laying it in as he gets by Giannis. He's got 9 already, a way better start for him than against the Clippers. Phillips has taken plenty of shots already, and why not? He's knocking them down. Jaden Hardy leaves it for Castro. Wide open 3. If he was going to make one, that was going to be it. Up to Gilliard. His pull-up shot won't fall in, and we get it back up by 3. Dumped inside to Castro. But McGee once again gets the stop on him. Pull-up jump shots. Offline from Giannis. Towns lost his dribble. He goes up with it and finishes at the rim. He's got 11 here in the first quarter. Nice pass to the baseline. McGee gonna have to fire over Christie. He got it. Towns, little fake move. He hands it off, and Person can't finish at the rim. Giannis with that stop right there, locking down Person so far here in this first quarter. Now he's going to step into a pull-up jump shot, but right now they're just not falling for him. Person tries again, and is now 0 for 3. Pretty fast-paced game so far. We're trying to score pretty quick off these threes misses, but so far hasn't really panned out too well for us. How did Phillips pass out of that shot? I have no idea. Top of the key. Jaden Hardy's first shot won't fall. That's a wide open jump shot for McGee to put the Breeze on top. He is 3 for 3. Towns kicks it inside. Malone lays it in for 2, picking up right where he left off in our last episode. Phillips fouled on the 3. He's going to have 3 shots just like Towns did earlier. He kind of reminds me a lot of that one guy, I forget what his name was for the Wizards, that came in and just absolutely diced us up for a quarter or two before not doing a whole lot else the rest of the way. And so far, Phillips kind of playing a similar role, splashing some threes, drawing some fouls, and now the Breeze are back up by 1. Step back, and Harrison answers with a 3. From downtown, Phillips can't knock it down off the skip. Off the pick and roll, it's Malone who throws down the hammer. Over Barea, and no good. Nice pass. Christie knocks it down. Threes raining in from the Force. One of our better starts to a game all year long. We've got 34. The Breeze have 27, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Damn good start right there. After a fast-paced first quarter, how do things play out here in the seconds? Morrison back in, and he's on the board here to make it a 5-point game. Here's Thomas with it. His jump shots won't drop in. Open look. Counted for Gilbert. Good penetration, and Malone had that shot tipped, I think, by Tyson Gilbert. And now he gets it back. Back out to Smith. Gonna try this one again. Smith is fouled hard as he takes spill to the deck off the Hardy foul. Is he wearing Chuck Taylors? Kind of looks like it. The free throws are split. Step back, mid-range jumper, nailed by Thomas. Using the screen. Morrison feeds it back to Towns, blocked by Castro. Out of the corner. Instead, it's fed to Malone. He beefed it, but got it back for 2. Nice spin move from Smith. Castro comes to help, and it's a nice pass. All the way to the rack, and fouled goes Melvin Harrison. His first free throw is good to make it 2 for 2. Yes. Blocked again by Castro. Morrison tried to get it over him. That's not going to work. 20 boards for us, 15 for Honolulu. Thomas steps back, but can't knock it down. Smith feeds it back to Gilbert, and he misses the short-range pull-up. Aggressiveness from Castro, but maybe a little bit too much. Nice kick inside. Towns picks up a foul off of Castro, number 2 against him. Look at that right there, man. Both teams top 5 in the last month in terms of rebounds per game. So we have improved as the year has gone on in terms of grabbing rebounds. That's like 54 per game right now. Very impressive stuff after we've been kind of bottom 10 since taking over this team. The free throws are split once again by the Breeze. We take over leading 40-35. Wilson Towns back in the game. He takes a baseline. Tough matchup, blocked back in his face. He gets it back. And he's going to try a fadeaway 3. In and out. Lob snuffed out by Castro, and that's going to be a steal for Wilson Towns. Hardy leaves it for Towns. The one-hander is up and good over Phillips. Stepping into a jump shot. It's good from Adrian Morrison. He's been kind of quiet so far tonight, but nice pick and roll. Malone coasting to a foul on Ruben Towns. Front end is good. He's been a pretty darn good free throw shooter for us this year. And he ends up going 1 for 2 as I say it. Come on, man. Giannis tries again. I don't think he's ever going to knock one of those down ever again. He's like Castro, just bricking every single three he takes. Down low again. Castro, second try, no, but he gets it back and puts it in. And off to Phillips. We switch it. Morrison off the back iron and out. Ball screen comes up. Thomas inside to Malone. All of a sudden, this guy is just a great offensive player, dude, especially on pick and rolls. He's just absolutely killing it. We have, I believe, our largest lead here in this game at 47-37. Gilliard, though, scores off the window and brings it back within 10. All the way to the rim. The teardrop won't drop in for Towns. Giannis has yet to knock one down from deep. Open look. Hardy squares up and splashes that one top of the key. We have been great behind the arc so far in this one. Phillips hands it off out of a shot. I thought that was a block from Malone. It's more free throws instead. First one for Gilliard drops in. Max Christie back in alongside Person. And the free throws are both good. Inside, Person still held scoreless. This is where Giannis gets dangerous. That's a great pass out to Gill. He's not going to miss the open corner shot. This is Malone trying one behind the arc. That one is too strong. Under 3 to play here in the quarter. Giannis, another try. He's got to be like 0 for 7, I think, from downtown. Embarrassing display so far. One-on-one. Thomas spins around Gilliard and knocks it down. What a play. He's got 15 points. Blow by from Giannis. He splits defenders and draws a foul. Number 4 against Pittsburgh. He's not going to knock down his jump shots. Might as well draw some fouls getting to the rim. Malone checks out. Castro checks in. Giannis 2 for 2. Thomas lets it fly. Another one drops in for the Archangel. Not another 3. Keep taking more of those, though. I'll take it. McGee pulls down the offensive board, though, to keep it alive with Honolulu. Phillips can't put it in. Double team comes. Person launches. I think he's like 0 for 6 now. Up to Phillips. Blocked by Castro. Great heads-up play on defense. Thomas tries again. Just off the mark. I think Hardy is still scoreless too, I believe. From the elbow. This Phillips guy is just pulling the trigger left and right. Thomas, downhill, back to Person. He's on the board. Drop coverage from Castro, and he gets the block on Phillips. Another one. That's number 3 of the half. Phillips now just 4 for 13 from the field. After a pretty strong start, he has gone cold as Thomas takes it inside for 2. Do you see what I mean about his 3-level scoring? The Pittsburgh Force lead by 13 points. All of a sudden, defense turns to offense here in Payne's Arena, I guess. They'll have the final shot of the first half. It's Cassell offline. We lead 46-59 at the break. One of our better first halves of the entire season in a showcase game. start of the second half after a 20-point first half from Jimmy Thomas, while the Breeze dropped to below 40% shooting from the fields. Person on the board again. He's got 4 now after an incredibly slow start thanks to some great defense by Giannis. Nice pass. Phillips somehow got that around Castro for the bucket. Off the dribble, Towns throws it up and in. He's been playing well in this game. Behind the arc, left open. Phillips catching fire to start the half just like back in the first. Another take. Now it's a step back. Towns 2 in a row. Giannis takes it out again. Morrison left open. Too many of that in this game. Got to stop doubling on the help. Baseline. Towns 3 for 3 to start the third. Spinning and firing. Morrison can't knock it down as Castro pulls down the miss. It's left behind the arc in the corner. Hardy laces one from deep. That's got to be like one of his first shots of the entire game. Phillips with the blow by and the layup up and good. Doubles coming over for Thomas. Person in the corner over his outstretched arms, can't knock it down. On the other end, another kick out. McGee in the corner, laces it one from deep in response, and it's back to 11. Thomas from the elbow, in and out. Phillips rises and hits another one. I think he's hit every shot so far in the half that he's taken. 4 for 4. Left open. It's Person. Almost got it. Step back 3. Phillips can't miss right now. What did they say at halftime to him, man? He's got 24. He has already matched his point total from the first half. That is insane. Thomas. No good behind the arc on the other end. And the Breeze are closing this gap quickly. We're going to double Phillips. Gilliard backing down Castro. Lost his dribble. And he missed the layup, but got it back. 5 minutes gone here in the quarter, and they have cut our lead from 13 down to just 4. Person has got to make something happen, but he is now shooting 20% from the fields. Quick shot. No, it's a pass to Gilliard for another jam. And they're back within a single score. Out of the corner. Towns does not take the 3. Instead, he attacks the rim and will have some free throws. The first one does not drop in. Oh no. The back end is also out. Come on, man. Uh-oh. Morrison unable to put the Breeze in front. That was close. Somebody's got to step up. Towns blocked. Castro gets it back and will have some more free throws. Let's not go 0 for 2 here. He's got 15 boards in this game. That's very impressive. Can he get involved offensively, though? That's the big question. 2 for 2 again for the big man. Phillips. Doubles. Cross-court pass. Gilbert. 1-point game. They're getting beat by one guy right now. Towns goes after him, but it's too strong and rattles off the back iron. Gilbert up to Gilliard. He's had 3 dunks in the third quarter, and now the Breeze all of a sudden have outscored us by 14 points here in this third quarter with over 5 to go. Downhill, Malone is blocked from behind by Gilbert. What was the halftime speech? Phillips finally missed the shot. Up to Towns. A bit of a wayward pass by Hardy. He gets it back, but can't lay it in, and somehow he cannot grab the offensive board. Gilliard for three. No good. Somebody's got to step up here. Can Hardy do it? No, he's denied by McGee. The Breeze defense right now really stepping up since halftime. Now it's a mismatch for Morrison. The lead extends to 3 for Honolulu. Back to Person. His jump shot won't drop in. Either he or Castro have got to shoot better if we're going to win this game. Simply put. The three, no good from McGee behind the arc. All right, let's get back in the lead here, or at least tie things up perhaps. Correa cuts on the pick and roll. He rocks the rim. The assist to Wilson Towns. Phillips once again doubles. He hands it off to Gilliard. He's doubled. Open three for McGee. The double teams are costing us right now. It's one guy. Phillips has been creating almost every bucket in the third quarter so far. He has barely sat in this game. For three. Towns drills it. No more double teams, please. McGee fades away and responds with the mid-range jump shot. He's been a silk shooter here in this game. All right. Jaden Hardy or Person or Max Christie. Somebody do something. Christie fires, but can't tie things up. This is Phillips, wide open to double the lead. Jimmy Thomas back in for the Force. We turn the ball over. Hardy has not been good here off the bench in this one, and it's not helping us out at all. Hands off. Gill laces it from deep. These guys are knocking on the threes. They have put up 40 third quarter points. Good Lord. Can Thomas respond? Yes, he can. Screen comes up. Cassell bounces it back to Gilbert. What is going on with our defense? This is just like the Clippers game. A completely different story than the first half. I have no idea what they changed, but we have now allowed 42 points and counting. This is unreal. Hardy gets the handoff into a three, but can't knock it out. I think he's still scoreless in this game. Wow, I just can't believe how we're closing, or not closing, but just playing in this second half. Every shot is an open one. We're down by 11. Last shot of the quarter. Please, somebody knock it down. It's Thomas. Uncontested. He's the only guy that is keeping us in this game right now, plus the start of the half from Wilson Towns, but we go from a 13-point lead to an 8-point deficit. All right, before this quarter even truly begins, I'm going to make some defensive adjustments here because I want to win this game. I want to get to above 500 so we can potentially see this team for the first time in the postseason. At this stage, I think we need to just switch everything off ball because right now they're getting open off of those off-ball screens. Not on-ball screens, off-ball screens. So we're going to make this switch all and not too worried about their mismatches because they haven't really scored inside all that much, especially on mismatches. So hopefully that will help us out. And for switch rules, we're doing just switch all for now until things change. At least we start, though, with the ball, but we turn it over. Thomas lost the handle. Gilbert out to Smith. Back to him. And he missed at the rim. Correa comes in for the rebound. And he coughs it right up again. Are you kidding? 2 turnovers, but Gilbert misses 2 in a row. What was that pass by Towns? I'm going to lose it. 3 turnovers in less than 40 seconds. Come on, guys. This is not how you start a fourth quarter at home, but Thomas steals it right back. He pulls up, but it's contested. Over the top, and the Breeze lead by 10. A sloppy, sloppy start to this fourth quarter.
Pittsburgh calls timeout.
I don't know who their coach is, but he must have had the greatest halftime speech in the history of the game. Thomas trying to do too much with 2 defenders on him. It's not a smart shot. Morrison over a defender, can't knock it down. Thomas doubled. Christie in the corner, across the court. That's a great find. Smith over Christie, got it to go. All these guys could shoot on this team. Towns fouled on the driving take by Gill. This is not who you want, though, at the charity line. But the front end is good. Person back in the game. Can he step up here in this fourth quarter? Phillips doubled. Morrison's open. Thank God he missed it. It's their first wide open miss of the half, it feels like. Thomas with another turnover. That's already 4 in the first 3 minutes. Wow, for Morrison, the one-handed jam. They're getting whatever they want. Outside person, you have to drill it. In and out. Castro gets to it, but he's blocked on the putback. Just all these little plays back and forth have given this Breeze team a 10-point lead. A foot inside the arc. Morrison can't knock it down, but man, we just look sloppy right now. Double team comes again. Hardy tries a triple and drills it. Phillips doubled. Can we stop, please? How do I stop us double teaming every single time he touches the ball? I don't know. Can we find a good look here, man? Shot clock's under 5. Castro cannot make the pass because we turn the ball over again thanks to a bad screen. I mean, what happened? I just don't know. Like, the offense hasn't been like that bad compared to our first half, but just like turning the ball over way too much, not getting stops on defense, double teaming every time their point guard touches the ball, like right here. This is just a completely different story compared to the first half. We're still in arm's reach. Top of the key. Double team comes up. Thomas, another turnover. That pass was deflected. They turn the turnover into points on the other end. This is looking grim for us right now in these last 6.5 and change to go. Downhill, and Towns got the feed at the rim. We're down by 14 points, man. This is just not what I thought was going to happen. I thought we looked pretty good there in the first half, and we did. Now not so much. Hardy, though, creates some room and knocks it off the window. Gotta get a stop here. Shot clock under 5. Phillips. No good. They keep doubling Thomas. That will leave us open on some of these plays. And Towns has been one of our best offensive players here in this game. Like the whole way. It's back within 9. Giannis back in for the Breeze. So don't expect Person to score again the rest of the game. He is 2 for 12. Castro 1 for 9. We double again. Giannis hands it off. Shot clock counting down. Gilliard hands it off. McGee fires a contested shot, and he got it to go. Inside feed, Towns too strong, and Giannis comes in for the rebounds. And we double. McGee for three. This game is going to be over here within 1 more minute, man. We have completely squandered a 13-point halftime lead. I just can't honestly believe that. It's been a completely different team. Towns with 28 now in this game. The Breeze take this one in Paints Arena, 125-111. That was some sorry second half defense. Wow. This team might have some second half troubles because just like the Clippers game, we just allowed over 70 points, 1 point shy of 80 in the second half alone. We go from a 13-point halftime lead to losing by 14 points. Got outscored by 27. That is absolutely insane. 31-9 for Thomas here in this game. 28-7 for Towns, 15 for Hardy, but we had 2 really bad performances, and that lost us this game. Person, 3 for 15 from the field, 0 for 6 behind the arc. Castro, 1 for 9. I mean, you just gotta shoot better. You cannot shoot that poorly, especially in a game that was close for a lot of this one. And, you know, Thomas was kind of locked up there in that fourth quarter, too. He barely made a shot. I think he hit 1 shot all fourth quarter, maybe 2 shots and like 5 total points or something. But once Phillips got going, the game was over. Once he hit those like 5 straight shots to open the second half, we doubled every single time, and that left McGee wide open on all of his jump shots. He had 1 contested shot all day long on a fadeaway, or two of them, and he made both of them. He goes 8 for 9, drops 21 points. Morrison was given so many open threes. Despite Giannis going 3 for 14, 1 for 8 from downtown, that had no effects on the game after that first half. That was embarrassing, man. We shoot 42%. They go from shooting 36 in the first half to 51 at game's end. 48 behind the arc to our 46, and we missed 10 of our 29 free throws. That was also costly in this game. And don't forget that I'm pretty sure 5 of our 7 turnovers came in the first 5 minutes of that fourth quarter. That also was not going to help us out. We fall back below 500, and it's still going to be quite a process to get back above it. Not going to lie, it's a pretty eye-opening loss right there, especially when Hardy, who we just re-signed on a vet minimum contract, just kind of was not there at all. Like, he barely showed up to play. He turned the ball over a couple of times. I think he was either scoreless or hit like 1 or 2 shots. No, he was 0 for 3. He was scoreless. 1 turnover, 2 assists. That's not going to cut it. -8 plus minus. I mean, Castro has had so many games both this year and last year where he just puts up like 1 or 2 field goals on like 10 shots. That's got to get better. He's got to be more offensively consistent. That's what we're hoping for with his next off season. But that's gonna maybe kind of think about some changes here if, you know, we don't end up making the playoffs or the play-in tournament at all, because I feel like with how we closed last year and how we played these last couple of weeks, we can be a play-in tournament team. But with halves like that, you know, that's just not going to be enough. It's just not going to be enough to get us to where I want this team to be by hopefully the start of next season. Meanwhile, at the top of the conference, the Neptunes are closing in on this Sixers lead, now just 1 game back, but Philly does have 2 games in hand on the Neptunes, the rest of the way with 15 versus 13 games left. And over in the West, that win against us keeps Honolulu at the 3rd seed right now. But look at this gap, dude. The Spurs and Sonics are within 3 games of each other. There is like an 8.5 game drop-off, or a 10.5 game drop-off between the Sonics and the Breeze. That is crazy. It is a 2-horse race for the West, but the Spurs have 1 game in hand on Seattle. Let's go over a few more prospects to close the episode. Let's use the big board here from Sporting News to kind of get us a feel for how the top of the draft might go. At the top, you've got Brook Phillips, a 6'11 power forward, can play the 3 spot as well, but at 6'11, unless he's very agile, probably don't want to play him out there. He can knock down the mid-range shots. The defense needs work. The other offensive traits definitely need some work. Rebounding's not too great either, but he has potential, so it's pretty much just potential plus mid-range scoring for this guy. And he has 3 badges: catch and shoot, Deadeye, Pro Touch, so all for shooting across the board. And then he's got the All-NBA Tom Heinsohn comparison. Not sure how you pronounce that name, but he's got gobs of potential. He's a good low post scorer and appears to have a knack for steals as well, with no significant weaknesses. In a similar vein, you got Luther Carson, who can also play at the 3 or the 4 at 6'11". He is 1 year younger than Brook Phillips, with an all-star / Pascal Siakam ceiling, nice shooting form, good but not great shot blocking skills, and can score through traffic because he can dunk the ball. Also, no big weaknesses. And you can see the inside scoring right there, plus the stretch 4 ability. Defense on the outside is not going to be too great, so probably better fit at the 4 spot, but his post defense is in a pretty good starting place. Rebounding better than Phillips. Pretty decent IQ plus a high potential. What about Cole Dixon, the 6'9 power forward at 18 years old? B offense, B defense, acrobat, fast twitch, rise up, and slithery. And he has also very high potential. He's a good athlete. Pretty solid basketball IQ out of the draft. Good post defense and solid rebounding skills. Offense needs work, but he can definitely score at the rim. And he has a Hall of Fame Tim Duncan ceiling. If he falls to us, why not take a shot on a guy with that high of a ceiling? They usually pan out. He's got a nice shooting form, good but not great shot blocking skills. He has pretty much the exact same strengths as Luther Carson, like almost the exact same, and also with no weaknesses. He is supposed to go at either pick 5, pick 2, or pick 2. So he's going to go top 5 for sure. We're probably not going to have a chance to take him unless we get lucky like last year with our lottery pick. If we still keep that, depending on how we close the year. Then you have the second coming of Cecil Andrews, who was that backup guy that we drafted over with the Neptunes. We saw him for only 1 year, but now it's a point guard with the exact same name. This guy's bald at 19. Sorry to say, that's unlucky. Take some finasteride, buddy. He's got B+ inside scoring, B- mid-range scoring. Pretty solid outside defense too at 6'3". Good athlete, in fact, a fantastic athlete, plus fantastic potential on paper. He's got a Marbury comparison plus the all-star ceiling. He's got a good vertical. He's a pretty good initiator, but he should probably be a primary initiator as a point guard and can knock down those 15-foot jumpers, but can't really play above the rim, and he's got no badges. A bit further down the board, you've got Glenn Benjamin at a 76 overall. He can knock down mid-range shots and can knock down some open three-pointers. Post defense looks pretty good. Rebounding not too bad for a 6'9 player. He's got B athleticism and he's got A- potential. This draft class is pretty stacked right now with potential, so you can pretty much pick anywhere in the first round and you're probably going to get a guy that has at least an all-star ceiling. He's compared to Tom Sanders or Kevon Looney. He's got some stealing ability, good mid-range jump shooter, and he's got potential with no significant drawbacks. And he has 0 badges, just like a couple other players. I've not focused on center too much, but you have Don Francis here at 7'1", coming out of Temple. He's 21. He has got 3 badges, 1 for blinders, masher, and workhorse. So kind of an all-around ability there with B+ potential on paper. He's a pretty good athlete. He can rebound. His post defense is fantastic. And he can score inside. So he's kind of a two-way player. He won't really knock down jump shots, but he will be a good defender. He has a pretty good vertical leap. And an unselfish ball distributor. So that's pretty good. And he's supposed to go at pick 2, pick 11, or first overall. And he's got about an 80 overall. And lastly, what about Igor Nevsky, a 6'8" power forward coming out of Russia. 19 years old, all-NBA ceiling compared to Elvin Hayes. He's got a great vertical leap. He's a good low-post defender. And defenders bounce off him. He throws it down with authority. And he does have a questionable basketball IQ and court awareness. You know, I don't want to add some guy that's going to be kind of an idiot on the courts. With D basketball IQ, that is incredibly low. But again, great athletes, high potential, and solid inside scoring plus occasional three-point ability with 3 badges, fast twitch, pogo stick, and posterizer. So a few more prospects to think about here as we approach the end of our season. That will do it here in this one, folks. Please leave your feedback down below as always, and I want to see your thoughts on, 1, the prospects from this episode and our last episode, and plus, what do you want to see for the future of this team? Who should stay? Who should go, if anybody? Thomas, Towns, Person, Castro, Hardy, who else? Give me your thoughts down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one as we will likely close out the regular season here in year number 2 with the Force. A lot of road games to close our year, including 1 against these Neptunes in 2 weeks. I will see you guys in a couple days. Tomorrow, though, if I can get one out, get ready for my College Football 25 Team Builder Dynasty if they release Team Builder tomorrow, which I think they will, but who really knows? I'm very hyped for that because that game is going to be amazing. I think it already is, but I'll see you guys in a couple days. Peace out. Take care. Have a great day.